They call us the mysterious kings of the high plateau. It sounds grand, doesn't it? But we know a different truth. Up here, on the roof of the world, survival is not a matter of glory. It is a relentless, bone-deep struggle fought on the very edge of existence. In this desert of ice, every breath we draw tastes of frost. Here, in the frozen heights of 4,000 meters, where the air is thin and the silence is heavy, my brother and I were born. Huddled beside Mother, the world felt small and safe. She was our sky, her thick fur shielding us from the bitter currents that howl through the high mountains. These jagged ridges are Mother's hard-won kingdom, a fortress of stone and snow. Our gray rosettes are not just patterns, they are the perfect camouflage, blending us into the ancient rocks. And her long, heavy tail, it is her balance, her scepter, allowing her to walk along deadly cliffs as if she were on level ground, safe, steady, and untouchable. When she moves, Mother runs as swift as the wind. When she strikes, she does so with the force of thunder. To us, she is more than a hunter. She is the invincible guardian of our hearts, a living monument protecting this barren yet sacred land we call home. I remember the quiet moments. Mother would watch us tenderly as we clumsily practiced our first climbs among the sun-warmed rocks. In those rare, kind eyes, the bitter cruelty of the wilderness seemed to fade away, leaving only the warmth and peace of a family. Tracking prey was the first lesson she whispered into our ears. Though we were small, she taught us that to watch is to learn, and to learn is to live. In this harsh world, understanding the rhythm of survival is the only path forward. But fate strikes without warning, as cold as a sudden avalanche. Invaders broke into our territory, seeking to seize the home Mother had defended for years. To protect us, she faced a desperate dilemma, a choice between a hopeless, bloody fight and the lonely path of exile. I saw Mother stand her ground in a tense, terrifying standoff. I saw the muscles tense beneath her coat, but she looked back at us, and she knew she could not risk being hurt. She could not gamble with our young lives. For our sake, she turned her back on the only world she knew, leading us into the vast, unknown distance. Mother knew that to survive is to hold on to hope. Grieving and silent, she led us away from the warmth into the heart of the exile. Behind us, the falling snow began to cover our footprints, erasing the memories of the home we once loved. We were ghosts in the wind. We crossed ridge after ridge, wandering into lands that were strange and hostile. Everywhere we went, we were fiercely driven away by the local leopards. Every stone beneath our paws seemed to reject us, the weary outsiders looking for a place to rest our heads. Once a proud queen, Mother now stood lonely in the swirling blizzard. Her fur was matted with ice, her strength waning. Yet she found a small cave, a crack in the world to shelter us. We huddled together, listening to the terrifying roar of the mountain storm, praying for the dawn. The new territory was a wasteland, and the winter felt like an endless night. Hunger became a constant companion. Mother had to venture further and further to find food, leaving us in the shadows. We waited anxiously, unaware that danger was already closing in upon the cliffs above our heads. Abyss below, cliffs behind. In a moment of chaos, my brother slipped. To protect me, he lost his footing and fell from the steep slope. I clung to the jagged rocks with all my might, my heart screaming. I knew I had to live, for Mother, and for the brother I thought was lost to the void. The ice bit into my face until I was numb. I crawled down the rock face, my legs trembling with a fear I had never known. I dared not make a sound, terrified that the first thing to hear my heartbeat would not be Mother, but the death that watched from the crags. The snow finally stopped, leaving a world of blinding white. Mother found me among the rocks, her eyes wide with desperation. I imitated her cries, calling out for my brother into the frozen silence. And then, a miracle. We found him, shaken and shivering, but alive. He had been spared by the mountains. Our reunion was a fragile blessing. Mother licked our fur over and over, her tongue rough and warm, healing our spirits. It was our final hour of true peace, huddled within her weary warmth before the shadows of the plateau grew long once more. Trapped for 3 days, hunger followed us like a dark shadow. Mother looked at our weakened bodies, our sunken ribs. She knew she had to hunt again, or we would not see another sunrise. She stood firm against the gale, preparing herself to be the bridge to our survival. She turned back for one last look, a gaze so filled with love, longing, and a secret goodbye that it haunts me still. Then she charged into the wasteland alone, knowing that in this world, every departure could be the final silence we would ever share. A massive herd of yaks moved in the distance, a forbidden zone we once dared not touch. The beasts were giants, their horns like scythes. Mother knew the odds were slim, that the risk was absolute. But for our sake, she had to gamble everything one last time. Mother charged like a bolt of lightning, no fear in her eyes, only a mother's resolve. But the mother yak stood like a mountain of fur and bone. Her will to protect her own calf was as fierce, as desperate, and as selfless as Mother's own. Hard horns struck Mother again and again. I watched from afar as her body reached its limit. On this high plateau, life is a currency, always paid for with another life. It is the cruelest math. This time, Mother lost the battle. In that final duel, one mother saved her young. The other, to secure a future for us, could only draw her broken, tired body toward the silent end of her journey. She gave us the only thing she had left, a chance. My brother and I waited at the cave, day after day, moon after night. Mother never returned, but we never truly felt alone. The silent valley is still filled with her scent, and the wind carries the echo of her spirit. She has become the stone, the snow, and the peak, watching over us forever. The long winter has finally faded. I have grown into Mother's likeness, with her square jaw and her steady gaze. I have learned to hunt, to endure, and to survive. Today, I stand upon the very peak where she once stood, looking over the vast, beautiful wild. I am the new queen, and though I face the unknown world alone, I carry her soul in every step I take.